up, y'all? It's Ty in this video. Today, we're going to be going over talking about the new Legends cards added into the game today, and if they're worth it or not for your specific squad. Now, I do want to say this. I'm recording this earlier than normal because I'm busy today, so like I can't do these things when these cards actually do come out. However, we do see the leaks, so we know how good these cards are and if they are worth it for each and every one of you guys or not. Now, we see Kyle Hamilton, who looks pretty good. You guys can see on the card the 94 speed, 92 acceleration. He's 6'4", great in man coverage, great in zone coverage. Obviously, he's a stud. You do see Matt Forte, looks like a pretty much a stud. Khalil Mack, a right outside linebacker. As well as Ndamukong, who looks like maybe the best defensive tackle in the game. We'll also briefly be talking about Charles Woodson as well, just a little bit, and whether he's worth it or not. Now, let's start on this with Ndamukong. Now, at Nebraska, I'm going to say it like this. Ndamukong was an absolute beast. In the game, he does look pretty solid. 86 speed, a 91 acceleration, 90 block shed, 92 strength, 92 power move, only a 74 finesse move. But this card looks like a stud at the defensive tackle position. Now again, obviously Ndamukong is going to have some of those budget-ish cards as well. But again, as far as Ndamukong's best card, he's the fastest defensive tackle in the entire game, which is super, super helpful. Block shed's not as high as some of the great guys, but he has one of the best power moves in the game. He's up there at the defensive tackle position for sure. Now, again, I'm not sure, how good he is compared to some of those top guys. I think he's just as good as some of those guys. Great speed, good acceleration, solid enough block shed. He's definitely up there. Not, his other overalls. So when you're looking at the 91 Ndamukong, the 90s, he's not going to be as good. He's still going to be solid for like a budget-ish option. So Ndamukong is fine. However, I don't think, I'm going to gas him too much. He's a good card. But again, I think there are defensive tackles that are nearly just as good. Khalil Mack up next. Right outside linebacker, comes with 88 speed, 92 acceleration, 90 block shed, 93 power moves. Only a 77 finesse move, not obviously the best, but overall it looks like a solid card. Now, at a little bit later, we will see exactly when what his zone coverage stats look like. It looks like those types of things. But again, I'm trying to figure out or trying to see those types of things, because he is 6'3", doesn't look that bad. They are saying worst card in a while. I mean, people can say worst card in a while, but for me, if you go and look at the right outside linebacker positions, are there cards better than Khalil Mack? I mean, I know Ernest has better speed, but he can't get after the quarterback at all. Jalen Walker probably is, it is tough to compare because Jalen Walker is better, at least at getting after the quarterback, than Khalil Mack. And so that is, it is tough for Khalil Mack to be one of the new right outside linebackers. He doesn't get after the quarterback as well as some of the other guys. I really want to see what those zone coverage type of stats look like. What does that change of direction look like? Does look like a power rusher, which is fine. But again, he's not going to get after the quarterback as well as a guy like Jalen Walker. So, I mean, Khalil Mack doesn't look that good. I think Ndamukong is better than Khalil Mack. The two LTDs today. Again, remember, you do need Ndamukong as well as Khalil Mack for ultimately Woodson at the end of the day. Kyle Hamilton, first thing I want to start with. This card is 6'4". Now, again, compare that to Thornton, who is 5'11". Compare that to Major Burns, who is 6'2". 6'4". My, oh my. This guy is absolutely elite. 94 speed, 92 acceleration, 94 man coverage, 89 zone coverage. Honestly, if you play man coverage, Kyle Hamilton is by far and away the best strong safety in the game and is going to be by far the best strong safety in the entire game for the foreseeable future. One stat we do not see quite yet is what does that change of direction look like? That could, I guess, hurt the card quite a bit. But I think you've got to say Kyle Hamilton is going to be the best strong safety in the game. Again, we just got Major Burns. Thornton's been in the game for a while, and I like Thornton. But to be honest, I don't think either of those guys is as good as Kyle Hamilton, who looks like an absolute stud of a card on this game. I genuinely don't know how you get much better than Kyle Hamilton. This card is the real deal. 6'4", great coverage, maybe the best coverage safety in the entire game. You guys can say I'm wrong, say I'm gassing it, but I genuinely think he is. Tell me I'm wrong with Kyle Hamilton. He is the real deal on this game. One of the best cards overall. Again, we don't see it. I haven't seen a change of direction yet, so we'll have to see. But I think he's one of the best strong safeties on the entire game. He's the best strong safety on the entire game, and one of overall the best players on the entire game. Look at the card. Look at the stats. Absolutely elite for Kyle Hamilton. Then we do see Matt Forte, another running back. I'm honestly kind of surprised because I feel like we've seen a decent amount of running backs lately. I wasn't expecting Matt Forte, but here we go, Matt Forte. You don't see all of his stats here either, so that's something that I wish you could see all of his stats so then we could get a way better idea of how overall good the card is. But you still get a little bit of a taste of what this card does provide for you guys on the field. Let's start with the 94 speed. You look at the running backs in the games, that's as high as we got. 80, 93 acceleration, that's solid. 95 carrying. You guys can see 90 truck, 92 break tackle. So he is a power back, 80 catch rating, but only an 85 change of direction. And so, for me, he looks okay, but he just looks like a worse version of Cam Scatabo. Like, that's kind of where I'm at with him right now for Matt Forte. Like, again, the card doesn't look horrible as far as a power back, but when you're comparing him to Cam Scatabo just simply looks better. And so that's where I'm at with Matt Forte is like, again, I don't hate the card. I think the card's honestly fine, but I do not think he is going to be the best running back in the game. I think Kamara is going to be better than him. I think Scatabo is going to be better. Honestly, Wisner probably is going to be better than Matt Forte. If you want to keep going down the list, Chris Johnson, probably maybe not quite as good, but he's close. And so Matt Forte is not a card I'm high on. And then let's finish it off. Let's talk about Charles Woodson. Is this card worth locking in? Well, here's the situation. I don't hate Charles Woodson. I do think he's the best cornerback in the game by far. I think, it's not really close per se. However, I don't think he's worth locking in. Like, I think if you want this card, you're going to be able to get him for cheaper down the road. That's just my gut feeling. I think down the road you're going to be get him for cheaper. And I just want to throw something out there for you. Sauce Gardner right now is 427,000 coins. Now, am I saying Sauce Gardner is better than Charles Woodson? Not if you play man coverage. But if you're going to sit there in zone coverage, Sauce Gardner is, I'm not saying as good, is nearly as good as Charles Woodson. And so that's where I'm at with things. Yes, if you play man coverage, Charles Woodson's by far and away the best cover corner in the game. Yes, you could say Cooper DeJean is somewhat close. And I will say this, though. If you play man coverage primarily, I am going to bring this up because, again, I think it's important. And you look at a guy like, let's just look at Kaysen, for example, for 105,000 coins. You look at Kaysen, here's what you're looking at. Kaysen's got 93 speed, 94 acceleration, 93 man coverage, 90 press. And I know the change of direction is only an 85, but he gives you 90% of Charles Woodson. And so I don't think Charles Woodson's worth locking in. However, if you want the best team in the game, he absolutely does play. So honestly, Kyle Hamilton by far and away the best card in my opinion today. And Ndamukong Suh's up there. I don't love Matt Forte for whatever price he's going to be. Same thing with Khalil Mack. That's going to wrap it up. Sorry that I got to do this early, but drop a like on the video, guys. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.